The topic of the day is emotional intelligence, and this is a very useful subject in our life. What is emotional intelligence, and what are the types of emotions we have? Basically, we have six types of emotions. Those are happiness, sadness, anger, disgust, surprise, and fear. Yes, those are the very important basic emotions of human. In that six, the most dangerous self-stabbed double sword weapon is anger. So it will take you into hell. How we need to control our emotions is a subject of emotional intelligence. You have read a lot of books and having a great knowledge, and you have a superpower of IQ, intelligence quotient. But if you don't have the management skill of EQ, that is emotional quotient, emotional intelligence management, you can't able to succeed in your life. You may lose some people in your life, no doubt. That's why this is the very important subject in our lives. We are all not like Gautama Buddha. Every time you maintain a calm. So as a human being, we are facing a lot of problems in our life. We face a lot of situations in our life day to day, in our hectic schedules of life. For that, definitely we will face the emotional dramas. So, how to control our emotions is an art. Say, for example, you are there at a traffic signal at a busy time of the day. The day was sunny and very hot, and you feel suffocated. At that moment, one of the cab driver just back of your vehicle, he always gives horn. How you will react in that situation? Definitely you will get more anger. Definitely you will be frustrated. How you can handle that guy? If you get angry and you will take an argument with that cab driver, it will take you into hell. Sometimes it may give a negative impacts to your life that will lead to a serious fight, that will lead to a legal complications. This is one example how you react. And one more example, if there is any quarrels in between the spouses, just your spouse is arguing with you without a baseless argument. This is just baseless argument. You know very well, but you got angry. How you could control your emotions at that time is a very important. If you are unable to control your emotions, automatically you can give some words, harsh words that will hurt your spouse. You may lose your spouse. Here I want to give one illustration for your better understanding. In one company, there is one employee. She is always scolded by her boss. Her boss always scolded like this: you are unable to do your work properly, you are a waste fellow, you are not on time to attend the offices. So like that, he is always scolding because of he is having some frustrations and all. So one day he called her in his chamber. She didn't know why the boss called her. Immediately she thought that her boss called for the purpose of scolding, and she immediately rushed into the room and with the angry face asking the boss, why you are calling, why you are called. I'm busy with other work. Just like she told to her boss too much angrily. The boss immediately shocked and said, no issue, you go and you do your work. I will call you after some time. He said like that. What happened? Why the boss called her? Behind the screen is that day is appraisal day. He wants to give a good appraisal for promotion of her name to the higher authority. For that, he called her, but she didn't know the matter. If you can observe in this illustration, if you carry your emotion, how that will hit your career. We can't expect when it will burst, when it will ruin your life and thrown into the hell. We don't know. So we have always to control our emotions. Otherwise, we won't succeed in our life. I had given 3 examples just now. One is in a traffic situation. The second is in a house quarrels in between the family members like spouse. And third is as an employee. How should she maintain her emotions? So if you can observe these 3 illustrations, if emotional intelligence or emotional quotient is not managed by oneself, the life will be hell, no doubt at all. Yes, as a human being, we are always getting emotionally. Connect with the people emotionally. Too much of fear is danger. Too much of disgust is danger. Yes, too much of anger, it leads our life into hell. So how to control, how to manage these emotions are related to mind. My dear friends, most of the people are thinking that our mind and brain is equal. No, is one. They are thinking this mind and brain both are one. Not both are one. Those are different. What your mind says, the brain follow. What mind says, your thought is your mind. Your emotion is your mind. What your mind says, the brain gives instruction to the body. Say for example, in your mind, you feel a thought like fear. The fear is a thought that enter into your mind. Automatically, the mind gives signals to the brain. The brain immediately alert your body. Like that, all emotions are related to mind. Mind is nothing but thought. So for that, most of the people have said, eminent speakers are always quoted, watch your thoughts. Watch your thoughts. Your thoughts are you. Your thoughts are your mind. Your mind gives some suggestion to the brain. The brain follows. When thought enters your mind, automatically the brain gives signals. You will get goosebumps. You will get sweat. You will get shiver. All these emotions, all these impulses come from the emotions of our mind. So we have to give training to our mind, not brain. Disadvantages of this emotional imbalance. First of all, there is a disadvantages of the physiological, like if you are frustrated, if you are unable to control your anger, if you are disgusting on some other person, you will definitely get more stress. That leads to a lot of physiological problems like migraine, irritable bowel syndrome, gas trouble, diabetes, sleepless nights, so many physiological problems you will get. And when come to the part of psychological problems like anxiety, fear, tension, so depression, neurosis, neurological problems that will come. And when come to the part of relations, that is social relationships, like you will lose your loved ones, and you will lose the people, you will lose some support from the people. And when come to the part of your job and work, you may lose your efficiency at work, you may lose your job. Like those four segments are very important. You will get physiological problem, you will get psychological problem, you may lose jobs, and you may lose relations. Those are the major problems if you are unable to control your emotions, if you are unable to maintain balance of emotions. So emotional intelligence is a manageable thing, but through practice. How to practice this emotional intelligence? So it will not come in a overnight. You have to practice. What are the tools? One is self-awareness. Self-awareness means what? Just observe. Write it down on every day in a journal. What is your thoughts? What is your emotional issues like anger? Today I got too much anger. Why? What happened? Like that. You write it down. Today you disgusted on some person. Why? What is your feeling? Write it down in a journal every day. It will show you an awareness how much you have imbalanced. And calm down. Do everyday deep breathing exercises that will give you calmness. And then second, self-regulation. You know your value, and you also know the value of other persons. So accept your mistakes. Then you will get a good sleep. Always you are not accepting your mistakes and passing all the mistakes on others will not give good relations. So you have to regulate yourself by way of doing mindfulness is also one of the best tool to regulate your emotions, to regulate yourself. And third is social skills. To maintain a good relationship with the people, by way of making more friends, by way of making more relationships, will reduce your emotions. And one more thing is that the good relations with social relations are most important in everyone's life. And the fourth one is empathy. Just show your empathy. Just enter into the shoes of another person. Think like why those persons are reacting like that. Then you can understand their problem. Then you can understand their pain. Then you won't get angry. Then you won't get disgusting. Then you won't get fear. Just enter into the shoes of the persons and understand. Empathetic listening is very, very important. So in your house there is a quarrels in between your spouse and you. Just enter into the shoes of your spouse. See the thing in the perspective of your spouse. Then you won't get angry. Try to understand the situation. So empathy is also one of the best methods to control your emotions. Social skills, empathy, self-awareness, self-regulation, and motivation. Who will give motivation? Self-motivation is very important. Motivate yourselves. Every day, do some physical exercises. Do some meditations. And even though you are not at all managing things, you got some angry on a particular person, if you think that person, you are unable to control your emotions, your BP will be high. If you are taking a name of that such a person, your emotions will be peak, your BP will be raised, your diabetic levels will be raised. For that, what you have to do? Just write it down. Whatever you want to use a filthy language, whatever you want to give harsh words, write it down in a paper. Don't show them to anyone. In your room, sit there and write it down. Whatever your feelings, write it down on the paper. After finishing the writing part, just burn it out. Burn the paper. Then you will be very free. What are the most important tips for managing your emotions? The first one is do physical exercise. For mental and psychological well-being, you have to do physical exercise regularly and do mindfulness meditation. It reduces your stress, it reduces your BP, and some physiological issues will reduce by mindfulness meditation. And practice to write journal. Every day you need to mention whatever your thoughts, just write it down in a journal. It is a self-awareness technique. And then practice thankfulness. If anyone do something good, just say thanks, praise them and say thank you, and accept your mistakes. Don't buck pass on others. Just accept your mistakes. And then practice forgiveness. This is the beautiful tip. If anyone do something that will give more angry, or you may feel disgusting, just forgive them. Just forgive them. And take a support from your friends, from your relatives, from your family members. Whenever you are emotionally imbalanced, just take a support of family, your friends. And self-love is one more important tip. Love yourself. And another tip is show empathy. Just enter into their shoes, try to understand the situation from that side also. Those are the very, very important tips to maintain your emotions. My dear friends, I hope this will help to you. If you feel it is useful, please share this video to all your friends, relatives, and near and dears. So please encourage them to subscribe our channel. Thank you so much.